Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the previews for the weekend. Today, we're going to be covering Arsenal Tottenham, talking everything in terms of betting, talking about how we think they're going to line up, all the tactics involved, and all that good stuff. Today, I'm only sadly welcoming one co host. Gui, how are you doing?
Gucci, hype for this game.
Yep. Sadly, George couldn't be with us because he's working currently, and we thought might as well get you some content out rather than none. So, this is where we're at. Coming in as an Arsenal fan into this, it's not looking great, in my opinion. I think that Tottenham have been flying recently. Arsenal haven't looked great. I think a stat I read recently was 7 out of 14 of our most recent goals have been come from individual errors. So a lot of our players not hugely confident. Although a big win against Olympiacos last night, 3-1. So, we'll see how it goes. How do you think the game's going to go, Gui? Do you think it's going to be Tottenham or Arsenal heavy?
Did I expect Tottenham to come in playing like a lot more attacking football than they have in the past, especially against the top six? Like in the early season, you saw when Tottenham faced the likes of City, they tend to park the bus, but they always come in strong. They tend to get early goals. That's just how Tottenham play, and I definitely expect them to come in strong. Might catch Arsenal off guard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, will they park the bus or not, though? I don't know. I think Højbjerg and Ndombele have been playing so well that you don't really need to park the bus because those two defensive mids should be good enough, I think, to stop Arsenal, especially because Arsenal won't really be going through the mid.
Yeah.
They're looking at Saka and Willian to um, cross the ball. So if Reguilon is fit, if Warrior keeps playing on top of his game because he has big ups and downs, that gives a lot of freedom in that midfield. And I think Tottenham will definitely be able to capitalize on that. I think it's all about the fullbacks here. If they're able to stop those two Arsenal wingers, it gives a lot more freedom to these two defensive mids to go forwards. You know how Ndombele can carry a ball.
Mm-hmm.
And if that happens for Tottenham, that's good. That's their win condition.
Yeah.
For Arsenal, on the other hand, I think they need to. I don't know. I think like Olympiacos yesterday, we saw how Arsenal in the beginning was just crossing balls, trying to feed something
Mm-hmm.
to Aubameyang, and it wasn't working against an Olympiacos side who's not defensively that good. They're also missing their best center back,
Yep.
and Arsenal struggled to score. Their goals came from weird long shots, a corner.
Yeah, the XG
So
was so fucking low.
yeah. So well, if that's the case, I think Arsenal need to be more creative going forwards. Maybe maybe take long shots like with Odegaard and Partey, have them try to push through the middle, but it's no easy task
I,
against Ndombele and Kjolbjerg.
I don't know. I understand the analysis. I think something that will come huge in this game is this. I didn't realize Harry Kane was doubtful.
This is the thing, dude. It's always cap. Last time they
Jose
played,
does this every
yeah,
time.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
yo, Harry Kane, Heung-min Son. Like I only have 6 men to play, and then he's gonna come out with like all his best players. He just does that. I know. But if I'm honest, I think Arsenal always step up to these games. Always do.
Mhm.
It's like we could be having the worst season, and we like a good example. We were 2-0 down at Tottenham. We played them recently, and we came back and scored 2 goals in the second half because they Arsenal players just always up for this game. Someone who also is always up for this game, Harry Kane. He always scores against us. It's kind of annoying at this point, but Gareth Bale's resurgence will leave a lot of Spurs fans quite happy as well. We were all memeing them at the start saying Gareth Bale's not going to do anything. He was a big waste, and he's come in really clutch recently. Something I think is going to be important is whether Willian plays. I don't want Willian to play. I'd really like the attacking four to be Aubameyang, Odegaard, Saka, and Emil Smith Rowe. Emil Smith Rowe was came on against Olympiacos last night and actually looked quite good. Odegaard was immense against Olympiacos last night. Players like Thomas Partey were still quite good. David Luiz will be a worry for us. I think tactically we're gonna have a lot more possession, just based on how we play. But I think we're really good defensively. People may laugh at me and say, "Oh, did you not see this? Did you not see that?" I think individually we're shit, but as a team we're quite good. I mentioned the stat of 7 out of the last 14 we've conceded a bit individual errors. So I think if this game we can keep those individual errors to a minimum. Maybe do if you're watching the stream last night. I remember Bernd Leno kept passing the ball. He passed the ball to Dani Ceballos, open net, they score because Dani Ceballos messes it up. Very similar to the Granit Xhaka incident against Burnley. Passed it to Xhaka when he should have booted it. They score because Xhaka makes a poor pass. So I think what Leno's going to have to do this game is when he's under pressure, just fucking boot it. You'd way rather the ball be way up there than risk it around the back. So if Leno can learn from that, and maybe Xhaka as well, I think we can be very fierce contenders in this.
You know, I mentioned this in the live yesterday when we streamed the Olympiacos game, but the fact that these individual mistakes keep happening
Yeah,
means that there's something that Arteta needs to step in and do something about it. Because if you can't trust, it's not just one guy; it's one, two, three, four dudes who
yeah.
keep making mistakes, and maybe they need help when dealing with these high pressure. When the forwards start pressuring the defenders, Arsenal players make mistakes. So I really hope that Arsenal have recognized this as a problem, a genuine problem that's just not unlucky. Because obviously mistakes happen by all players, but now it's happened a few too many times.
Yeah.
And I really hope that Arsenal does something about practices dealing with this pressure when when the forwards press your defenders. Sometimes you have to boot it. You have to be more aware. Maybe you need a leader back there to sort of
Do
organize the defense and let people know, hey, uh, Mari, you need to boot the ball. Kane's coming, something like that. You need
Yeah.
someone vocal back there. You need organization.
But
But I think, sorry, go ahead.
do you not also consider the fact that Jose Mourinho likes to sit back? So a team like Southampton or a team like Olympiacos who was pressing us really high, Jose won't like he could be telling his players to do that, but traditionally he likes when
Yeah,
possession has been lost, he likes the regrouping strategy. So instead of possession's been lost, everyone push up and try to get it back. He goes possession's been lost. First thing we do, get back into formation. It's gonna make them really hard to break down, but I also think it might leave us okay with the individual errors, or if the individual errors happen, they're further up the pitch so that we're less exposed. So I
yeah.
think the
Especially because Spurs like to play counter-attacking football, and you
exactly,
know how lethal Son and Kane can be. They're
yeah,
fast. Reminds me of like old Real Madrid sometimes, how fast they can hit on the break.
100%.
So if Spurs want to take it that way, sit back and hope to get the ball back and hit them on the counter, then I think that's probably a good thing for Arsenal.
Yeah,
Probably. Um,
the only
really depends on how your center backs end up playing. Because
yeah.
David Luiz and Maria, I can't say I know much about him, but
I don't
David
think Mari will
Luiz,
start. I think Gabriel will start. We saw he was immense against
yeah,
Olympiacos last night,
yeah,
goal
I
and
think,
assist.
yeah, 100%. A guy like Tierney will never stop running till the last minute, so
Yep.
not worried about him. And uh, Callum Chambers, I also don't think he will start. I
Nope.
think Cedric will probably start in his place,
Or Hector.
yeah,
What I will say as well is
and they've run a lot too.
their defense sucks. And
Oh
something else that's quite big is we are quite good at set pieces. You saw it against Olympiacos last night, Gabriel with the corner
yeah.
goal, and we have a lot of big tall players in there, especially with Thomas Partey. David Luiz is quite good from a corner. Pablo Mari, if he does end up playing, is big in there. Same with Gabriel if he plays there. You know, Odegaard can take a good free kick, hit them from quite deep. Willian, while everyone memes him, can put a good delivery in there. So I think from corners we will actually be able to use and abuse them.
Especially if
So
Kane ends up not playing.
yeah,
Because if Kane has been crucial for Tottenham in defending set pieces. Even yesterday against Dinamo Zagreb, he made an epic like goal line or almost goal line clearance to
yeah.
save Louis' skin. You see it over and over. If Vinicius ends up playing, which I don't think will happen. If he does, that is a big, big up. Not
Yep.
just because, well, Kane tends to do well against Arsenal, but also defensively. Kane has been immense.
Kane has been immense this season. Something also interesting: Arsenal are undefeated in 24 of their last 26 home games against Tottenham. So this Tottenham don't usually travel well to us, whether that's just bad luck or whatever. But it is a bit of a fixture that while I am nervous, you're always nervous in these big games. I can see light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm not just saying this because they predicted it, but I'm gonna go with a 2-2. 2-2. They're always big, high-scoring games. The last time that I remember a boring one, I think, was when Kolasinac passed it straight into Heung-min Son and they scored in like the first minute, and then it was boring. But I think that 2-2 is probably gonna be my bet this game. What do you think? in terms of scoreline prediction. We'll look at the betting as well, but
Yeah. I think yeah, like I agree that there will be goals no matter how defensive Mourinho ends up lining up.
mm-hmm.
But I don't know why. I think it's going to be really hard to end the Spurs streak that they're on right now.
Yeah,
I don't know if it will be Arsenal. I think that there's definitely a chance, but the streak that Spurs are on right now, they seem their football is great. They're not making these dumb mistakes like Dyer and a lot of the defenders are making these individual mistakes that you see out of the Arsenal players. Those have stopped. Louis is coming back to form. He was making a lot of mistakes too. They seem like they're having fun. Dele Alli's happy. Bale seems to be happy too. Like everything's coming together. And when everything like comes together like it did for City a few months back, you go on a roll. And these
yeah,
rolls are hard to stop, which is why I have a bit more faith in Tottenham than I do Arsenal.
I agree.
Despite, yeah,
I th- I think I mean
I didn't give a prediction from a scoreline, but
okay, go 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 go.
that's why we'll say like 2-1. Yeah, 2-1 Tottenham.
Arsenal come in favourites somehow. I think Tottenham are the favourites here.
It's not even that surprising. Like I could see it both sides. Like you could argue me that Arsenal are favorites. You could argue that Tottenham are favorites. I could see it both ways. But despite that, the odds suck for both teams.
Oh,
So
the odds suck. I
it's
would not, unless you're gonna do one of these bet builders. I would not put anything on there. I think it's too hard to call to go for any of these and be confident.
absolutely.
I think if you win a bet on on any of these happening, it's just lucky. It's
Hmm.
not. People might say that Tottenham's the easy bet here. I think if I had to pick one of the three, I'd go Tottenham. Actually, I'd probably go draw just because the odds, but Tottenham's more likely than happening. In terms of the power prices, me and Gui looked at them earlier. The only one here that looks like kind of grabs the eye is the Gareth Bale one, because I think Bukayo Saka and Heung-min Son have one or more shot on target each. Tottenham don't concede a huge amount of shots on target per game just because of how defensive they'll be, and Arsenal do. So I could see Heung-min Son having one, but I just don't see Saka doing it. Especially we saw Saka playing that kind of inverted winger against Olympiacos, cutting on the inside, whipping that ball into the back post for maybe a Willian coming in or an Aubameyang coming in. So I don't think he has as much shooting potential as maybe Heung-min Son.
Yeah. The other one to consider is Harry Kane to score a header. But as you can see, the odds were 9-1. They went to 14-1 because my guy might not be playing.
Exactly.
But well, Kane, it's not like the chances of him scoring a header are that high. I mean, Arsenal's back to are decent in the air,
Yeah.
definitely better than the Spurs back to. So, well, Kane himself is great in the air, but still, it's 14-1. So if you got faith in Kane,
Yeah.
absolutely. But your money, like we said, Kane tends to pop off in the London Derby. So there is always a chance. 14-1, good odds.
I
Definitely a
think
shot.
the reason I don't. No, I agree. I think this is my second favorite to. No, actually, it's a lie. I think David Luiz to get booked is probably my second favorite. But I think this is the issue. My issue with this is actually not with our center backs. Is I think it's the role Kane plays in the team. He kind of plays
Yeah,
that, like you said, the reason they're going to score goals in this game will be counterattack. It'll be Kane dropping in that almost number 10 position, spreading out the ball to either Gareth Bale or Heung-min Son, and them scoring, or maybe even cutting it back to Kane. But it's not going to be a
absolutely.
whipped. If it's going to be a whipped ball, it's going to be Reguilon. But I think that Reguilon's going to have a lot of defending to this game, so I don't know if he's going to push up as much.
Yeah. And well, Arsenal have been good against the set piece most of the time, so it's also difficult to see the goal coming from there.
100%. In terms of the bets, I'm going to go for this game. I'm going to go fairly safe. I'm going to go. I was thinking of doing a bet builder, going with over 1.5 goals because I think this game's going to be spicy. I think if I had a bit more balls, I'd go over 2.5. But actually, I'm gonna go over 2.5. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it, dude. And then I'm gonna go. What was the other one we were talking about?
The
Both teams to
I'm
score.
blanking.
Both
Oh
teams.
yes, yeah.
Both teams to score. Yes. Um, that one kind of looks good, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with them too. It's actually really poor odds, so let's add something else onto it.
Um, let's see.
I could do correct score, but I feel like that's really, really iffy.
Perhaps the winning margin, although you think it's going to be a draw, so
You
it
know
might
what?
not
I'm
be
gonna
the
go
best
to
shot.
be booked. Granite Xhaka. I didn't just do that because for the meme. Granite Xhaka, or actually Serge Aurier is a big one as well. Granite Xhaka and Serge. The reason I'm picking Granite Xhaka is in every big game he just chops someone. If you watch when we play like Tottenham, I think a while ago he chopped Harry Kane in half. He did it to I think we Serge Aurier once and got sent off. He always gets heated in these big games, and I think the booking could happen. That's obviously I'm just basically doing that to make the odds a lot better. But yeah, I think that if you wanna copy me, we can do that, or you can do your own thing. But yeah, I think that's the Arsenal preview done. Thanks
Yeah,
everyone for watching, and we'll see you in a bit.
thank you.